Hello and welcome students. Today we are going to study the compounds of the S block elements. It's part 2 in which we starts from the sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is what? It is the NaCl. The common name of sodium chloride is table salt or common salt, which is used in our daily life as a food ingredient. Okay. The preparation is evaporation by the seawater. You all know that the NaCl is formed by the evaporation of the seawater. 50 lakh tons of the salt is produced annually in India by the solar evaporation. So properties are what? It is white crystalline substance. Its melting point at 801 degree centigrade and the water soluble. You know all that NaCl is water soluble. Solubility of 36.0 gram in 100 gram of water at 273 Kelvin. It means 100 ग्राम वाटर में आप 273 केल्विन पे 36 ग्राम NaCl को डिजोल्व कर सकते हो. After that, if you try to dissolve the 37 gram, it will not dissolve at 273 Kelvin. For dissolving it, you have to increase the temperature. So it is the basic things about that. This It is slightly soluble in alcohol. Uses of NaCl: it is an essential constituent of our diet, used as food preservatives, फ्रीजिंग मिक्सचर टू लोअर डाउन टेम्परेचर ऑफ द आइस. आपने देखा होगा जनरली जो आइसक्रीम्स वाले होते हैं जो फूड आइस को प्रिजर्व रखते हैं, मतलब आइस को जो आइस फॉर्म में रखना है, मेल्ट होने से उसको रोकना होता है, दैट टाइम उस पर क्या यूज़ करते हैं? सॉल्ट यूज़ करते हैं. दैट उसका टेम्परेचर क्या हो जाता है? डिक्रीज हो जाता है. In evaporation of in preparation of NaOH, Na2O2 and the Na2CO3 also. Salt plus little amount of Na2CO3 plus 5 to 10% Na2SO4 plus sugar, it is called kala namak. Good for the digestion. You know that what is the kala namak. Okay. Now the compounds of calcium. After the sodium, we will study about the compounds of calcium, and calcium is the member of the group 2. Group 2. So now we are studying the compounds of group 2. First is very important, calcium carbonate, which is known as, common name is limestone. Preparation, lab method. Lab method में कैसे बनाएंगे? It is, we will firstly take CaOH2, it is calcium hydroxide plus CO2, so it will convert into CaCO3 plus water. Okay, so it is a basic preparation of the calcium carbonate. By adding sodium carbonate to the calcium chloride, so it is our calcium chloride, and in this we add the sodium carbonate, so this will form the CaCO3 plus 2 moles of the NaCl. So these are two methods to prepare the calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is insoluble in water. When controlled CO2 is passed through aqueous solution of CaCO3, it will convert into the calcium bicarbonate, which is soluble. Okay, which is soluble. So calcium carbonate plus H2O plus CO2, it will form the calcium bicarbonate, calcium hydrogen carbonate, which is calcium carbonate is insoluble. But when you add the water and the CO2, it will the soluble compound. So that's why when we pass the CO2, excess of CO2 in the calcium hydroxide solution, which is milky in color, ये 10th में क्वेश्चन भी है, milky in color. So when we pass excess of CO2 in this, it will convert into the calcium bicarbonate, CaHCO3 twice, and now the milky color is disappear because of its soluble nature. It is soluble in water, so that's why that milky color is disappear. Now the but यहाँ पर ध्यान रखनी, control addition of CO2 is essential. Properties: white fluffy powder, insoluble in water. On heating, it will decompose into CaO and uh, liberate the CO2 gas. It reacts with dilute acid too. When the CaCO3 react with dilute HCl, it will form CaCl2, H2 and the CO2. Okay, and when it react with the CaCO3 with the H2SO4, it will form the calcium sulfate, H2 and the CO2. Okay, so there are two kinds of the product formed with the acid. When we add the HCl, it will the CaCl2 calcium chloride. When we add the H2SO4, it will form the calcium sulfate. Uses: for building material in the form of quicklime, cement, marble and distemper. Number 2, used in flux in the extraction of metals, as when we add SiO2, silica oxide, plus CaCO3, it will form CaSiO3. Okay, and it is called calcium silicate, which is called slag in the metallurgy. Okay, plus CO2. So it is used in the form of the slag, so it is used in the extraction of the metal. Used to prepare quicklime, CaO, and slag lime, CaOH2. Clear? Next one is calcium oxide, which is known as quicklime preparation by heating CaCO3. When you heat the CaCO3, it will form CaO plus CO2. So we can say that the calcium carbonate is used in the formation of the CaO. So it is the preparation method. Now the next one is properties. So calcium carbonate is white amorphous solid, not crystalline, it is amorphous solid. Melting point is 2270 Kelvin, and on exposure to the atmosphere it react with CO2 and form the CaCO3. तो it is the reaction, और इसका जो opposite reaction है वो काम आएगा CaO के formation में. Now the next one is the 4 point is it combines with acidic oxide and act as flux. Same वही था, CaO plus SiO2. SiO2 is the acidic oxide and it formed the CaSiO3 calcium silicate. It is called this flux, है ना, slag. When CaO react with P4O10, this form calcium phosphate. On heating with ammonia salt, it gives the ammonia. The CaO, ammonia salt means the salt of the ammonia, which is NH4Cl. It gives CaCl2 plus ammonia plus H2O. So we found the ammonia in this reaction, ammonia gas. Number 6 is when heated in oxyhydrogen flame emits a brilliant white light called limelight. Okay. Number is it 7, it readily absorb moisture and CO2. तो CaO H2O को absorb करेगा and CaOH2 में convert हो जाएगा, plus heat is produced. It is a general daily life example. When you add water into the CaO, है ना, water into CO, it will form the CaOH2 एंड प्लस हीट यहाँ पर रिलीज होगी. तो जो भी आप पोर्ट लोगे जिसमें इस पूरी रिएक्शन को करोगे, इट विल बी द एक्सोथर्मिक रिएक्शन. नाउ द CaO plus CaCO2, it is formed CaCO3. And the next one is CaO plus NaOH called soda lime. It is very important reactant, CaO plus NaOH. We know that NaOH is called caustic soda, so I am writing here soda, and it is called quick lime, so I am writing here the lime. So the name of this compound is lime soda, है ना, lime soda, and the ratio of is this 3:1. Clear? So what are the uses? Manufacturing of cement and glass, cheapest form of the alkali. In manufacturing of Na2CO3 from caustic soda, purification of sugar, and manufacturing of dye stuff. The compounds used in the dye, they are called dye stuff. Okay. Now the next one is plaster of Paris. You know very well about the POP. POP is the plaster of Paris, and the formula of this is CaSO4 half H2O, and it is very important. Okay. CaSO4 dot half H2O. So how we prepare the calcium uh, sulfate hemihydrated? It is called hemihydrated. Half H2O means hemihydrated. If there is one H2O, it is called monohydrated. So how can we prepare this? We prepare this by the heating gypsum. Gypsum is what? Gypsum is CaSO4.2H2O. When we heat this at 393 Kelvin, it will dissociate, it will release the water molecule and form the CaSO4 half H2O, which is called plaster of Paris calcium sulfate hemihydrated. Is it clear to all of you? So it is very important. So what are the properties? It is a white powder. It absorbs water and form gypsum. When this CaSO4 absorb the water, again it form the gypsum, and it is a hard mass, है ना? It is very hard. So it is used in the softening the uh, roof, softening the surface and all that. POP. So now uses are what? The in setting of the fractured bones. आपको पता होगा एक्सीडेंट होता है, आफ्टर दैट डॉक्टर प्लास्टर करते हैं फ्रैक्चर्ड बोन को जॉइंट करने के लिए, उनको सेटल करने के लिए. तो इन सेटिंग ऑफ फ्रैक्चर्ड बोन्स दिस प्लास्टर इज फॉर्म्ड बाय द प्लास्टर ऑफ पेरिस, द POP. इन कास्टिंग एंड मोल्डिंग, स्टेचूज बनाने में, है ना, इन डेंटिस्ट्री एंड इन ऑर्नामेंट वर्क्स एंड इन मेकिंग स्टेचूज एंड चौक. जो स्टेचूज बने होते हैं POP के बनते हैं, चौक भी बनती है POP की. तो दे आर द जनरल यूजेस ऑफ दिस. Next one is the Portland cement, and it is very important. It was first introduced by Joseph Aspin in 1824 in Islay of Portland, so that's why it is called Portland cement. Okay, raw material is what? Limestone and clay, which is called aluminosilicate. Preparation: firstly हम क्या करेंगे, limestone plus clay को mix करेंगे, और हीट करेंगे दिस मिक्सचर को एट 770 टू 1870 Kelvin, तो सीमेंट क्लिंकर इज फॉर्म्ड. दिस क्लिंकर प्लस 2.2 to 3% बाई वेट जिप्सम मिलाएंगे इसमें, सो एज टू रेगुलेट सेटिंग टाइम. उसका जो सेटिंग टाइम होता है, आपको पता है सीमेंट होता है उसमें हम वाटर ऐड करते हैं, आफ्टर दैट टाइम वो क्या हो जाती है, हार्ड हो जाती है. इट इज कॉल्ड, वो टाइमिंग इज कॉल्ड द सेटिंग टाइम. सो इट इज डिपेंड ऑन द जिप्सम. ठीक है, टाइम एंड द ग्राउंड टू द फाइन पाउंडर. Now that the Portland cement contains, what are the composition of this? So it is contains calcium silicate Ca2SiO4, or we can write it 2CO.SiO2 26%, and tricalcium silicate is 51%, and tricalcium aluminate is 11%. So it is very important composition of the Portland cement. Now the composition of cement. Okay, these are the constituent of the Portland, sorry, constituent of the cement, and this is their uh, percentage of each and every component. So CaO is 70%. So most of the compound of the cement is calcium oxide. MgO 2 to 3%, SiO2 20%, Fe2O3 1 to 2%, Al2O3, aluminum oxide is 5%, and SO3 is 1 to 2%. Okay. So for good quality of the cement, ratio of SiO2 and the L2O3, this is SiO2 and the L2O3 is the 2.5 to 4.0. Okay, and CaO and total mixture is 2 is to 1. Uses, so you all know about the uses of the cement. Is used in the building industries, uses in concrete, gravel plus cement plus sand, and in reinforced concrete, iron plus concrete, and in plastering, and in construction of bridges, dams, and the buildings. Okay, in all the building material cement is used. Okay, nowadays cement is a very essential material for the construction purpose. Now the next one is the biological importance of sodium and potassium, and it is very important topic. Okay, तो रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ आयंस इन एक हेल्थी एडल्ट में क्या क्या रिक्वायरमेंट रहता है, दैट इज द सोडियम 90 ग्राम, पोटेशियम 5 ग्राम, मैग्नीशियम 25 ग्राम, एंड कैल्शियम इज 1200 ग्राम. सो व्हाट इज द मैक्सिमम, कैल्शियम Fe 5 ग्राम एंड कॉपर 0.06 ग्राम. तो 23 एसेंशियल एलिमेंट्स रिक्वायर्ड इन बॉडी, आउट ऑफ दैट 15 एलिमेंट्स आर मेटल. 23 में से 15 मेटल्स हैं. दिस मेटल्स रिक्वायर्ड इन मेजर प्रॉपर्टीज आर एस ब्लॉक, इसलिए हम इसको स्टडी कर रहे हैं. ओके, सो नाउ सपोज एक डायग्राम से हम समझते हैं इसको, दैट इज आवर ह्यूमन सेल. ह्यूमन सेल में ये क्या है, पूरा सपोज ब्लड प्लाज्मा, और ये आपकी ह्यूमन सेल है. ओके, इसको हम स्टडी करते हैं. इनसाइड द सेल एंड टिश्यू, इनसाइड द सेल है ना, इनसाइड द सेल क्या होता है, हाई कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ पोटेशियम एंड सोडियम. मीन्स इनसाइड द सेल पोटेशियम की कंसंट्रेशन रहेगी हाई, और सोडियम की कंसंट्रेशन क्या रहेगी बेटा, लो रहेगी. तो याद रखना है इसको. इनसाइड द सेल एंड टिश्यू, हाई कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ व्हाट, इट इज पोटेशियम, एंड लो कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ व्हाट, इट इज सोडियम. तो सोडियम कितना होता है 10 mg पर लीटर, और पोटेशियम कितना होता है 105 mg पर लीटर. फ्लूड, इन फ्लूड, बाथिंग सेल्स एंड ब्लड प्लाज्मा, हाई, ये तो हो गया सेल्स एंड टिश्यू, और इनमें क्या होगा, हाई कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ सोडियम, जस्ट ऑपोजिट. इसमें हाई कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ सोडियम एंड लो कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ पोटेशियम प्रेजेंट होता है. सोडियम इज 143 mg per liter, and the potassium is 5 mg per liter. So what is the use and what is the function of that? That is the sodium ion participate in the transmission of nerve signals. It is very important. nerve signals को transmit करने में, nerve signals को transmit करने में which element is used, that is the sodium. Okay, so sodium in regulating the flow of water across the cell membrane and in transport of sugar and amino acids to the cells. Potassium ions are more with in cell fluids, वो cell fluids में ज़्यादा होते हैं. So where आपने देखा होगा, यहाँ हमने लिखा था that is the cell fluid potassium is higher, where the active many enzymes, क्या function इसका main, active many enzymes participate in oxidation of glucose to ATP. ग्लूकोज को किस में कन्वर्ट करेगा, ग्लूकोज को कन्वर्ट करेगा बेटा ATP में. इसी से हमारी बॉडी को क्या मिलेगी, एनर्जी मिलेगी. सो पोटेशियम इज वेरी एसेंशियल. सो पार्टिसिपेट इन ऑक्सीडेशन ऑफ ग्लूकोज टू ATP एंड विथ सोडियम आयन, किसके साथ में, सोडियम आयन के साथ मिलकर के. सो नाउ द रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ नर्व सिग्नल्स. सो यहाँ पर एक और यूज है हमारे पास, ये तो हो गया. देन लास्ट लाइन इज द कैल्शियम सल्फेट डॉट 2H2 मीन्स द जिप्सम, इट इज ऑर्थोरोम्बिक एंड इट इज हार्डनिंग, है ना, and it form into CSO4.2H2 which is also the gypsum, but it is the orthorhombic and it is the monoclinic. ये हम आगे स्टडी करेंगे in the higher classes that what is the orthorhombic and what is the monoclinic. okay, तो यहाँ पर सिंपल है, there are two form of the gypsum, one is the orthorhombic and one is the monoclinic. Okay, students, the our it is our chapter, the S block elements, and the last topic was the compounds of the sodium and the calcium. I hope you will study it very well, and you understand it very well. So thank you, and all the best to all of you.